It's time for Uncle Hank. Question Everything with M. Kalani Souza and Uncle Hank Ferguson.
What's up, gangy? It's good to see you.
Hello, gang.
We're here,
Hello.
Uncle Hank, where we question everything. And this time we got a question. Question the need for the big return to tourism, particularly HTA, their
Hawaiian
organization.
Tourist Association. Bruh.
And
Tell me
you-
truthfully, you think anybody's going to forget Hawaii stay over here? Do you really think that? Do you think we need to spend $150 million a year promoting them to come over here and prostitute us?
I bet if we spent only a fourth of that money telling them to stay away, they would still be coming.
Yeah. And then we can use the rest of the money to go buy PPEs for our health workers.
PPEs for the health workers.
Yes, bro.
Good idea. But, interesting. Hey,
It does bring up
the
lots of
mainland
questions.
guys who were in charge of HTA, right after this all happened, they quit and bailed back to the mainland.
We got some real things to think about. I don't like saying nothing about brother, but I am very curious about the new
Wait
director.
a minute. Are you talking about John DeFries?
I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about the whole situation.
I understand. So, John,
It's like-
give us a little bit of background history. He's from Kona, right?
No, he's actually from Waianae side, bro.
I know, but he's been out Kona for
Yes.
about 25
His
years,
last
maybe.
big job, if I'm not mistaken, was Hokulea. Which was
Hokulea.
that great big project that
Didn't that
was like-
turn into a nightmare over
turned
there?
into a nightmare over there.
Oh, boy, that's
It-
all. Wait,
But
and
it-
so
it-
now
it
he's
brings
the
to a
new
point-
HTA director.
and this is the point that I'm trying to make here, because I'm not trying to cut any racism stuff.
No.
Okay.
We're not.
But I'll tell you
We're not gonna
something.
Kanaka bash anybody,
When
except one.
when they're going to do stuff that is certainly questionable and challengeable, especially by the natives, who do they come out with? They come out with some Hawaiian figure, so they can say, well, he's just like them, or he can go save them on behalf of the Holly. And so, and I'm just trying to see. I'm saying this because, I watched right alongside the whole Hukalea thing. When they put John DeFries over there to do all that. He was the face of the Hawaiian in this great big project where they're digging up Hawaiian bones all over the place, all this kind of stuff, yeah.
Where they openly digging up the bones.
Yeah.
Where the burials
Yeah,
are popping
yeah.
up and no place for
It's-
them. I mean, back in the 50s, let's face it. Way back when Maili used to be the burial spot on Oahu, HC&D used to just cart the bones and the sand over to the
Hey.
place and make concrete for downtown.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Burial councils.
That's another subject. We talked about this before, but we need to make it very clear that the State Historic Preservation Division of the DLNR is a non-functional unit because you will not fund it. Okay?
You
will
mean
not give it.
Shifty in DLNR. they're
Yes,
just-
which is all about the bones, the Native American Graves
Well,
Repatriation Act.
they tend to just be kind of a rubber stamp sign off.
And it's because they're so overwhelmed. They don't have the staffing, okay? But they don't have the staffing because it behooves the state not to allow them to find things and address things Hawaiian. Because
Are you
it
saying
stops
to me
process,
that the
progress.
state is behaving in a less than transparent, less than honest manner, particularly as regards Hawaiian culture
Come on,
and
Bob.
Hawaiian
You
legacy?
don't need me to tell you that.
Okay,
Come on.
I'm just
It's like-
questioning. I'm questioning whether or not.
Sometimes the obvious is just way too obvious.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The bottom line is this whole thing is getting out of control, and John DeFries may actually be appointed to HTA so that they can have another fall guy. And this time it's a Hawaiian fall guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this got to be the worst moment to be in that seat in the state's history, right? The COVID is raging. Feds don't have it under control.
Exactly.
Military's moving. Things are ramping up in the Pacific. And the state's inviting all kinds of people, film companies. It's like they're desperate to get the COVID.
People are moving here by the groves, bro. There's
moving
new
here,
license plates.
new people buying houses, and
look at the streets, boy. They got all kind of new license plates.
you know,
from
we
all
must
different
look like
states.
Noah's Ark or some kind of safety valve, or maybe just like a lifeboat.
What does it mean to you? It means that you won't be able to rent the house that you'd like to be able to rent because somebody outside rented it before you.
Either that or we all out on the streets.
Hey,
We should all be out on the streets. You know,
we prefer being out on the
minimum,
street.
the cutoff line for poverty in Hawaii this year is $92,000.
Wow, we're below poverty line, huh?
Right. How many of you are above the poverty line? Yeah, that's Hawaii, land of the billionaires.
Exactly. And if we're not careful, brah, they are going to just buy us right the fuck. Excuse me. They're going to buy us right out.
Oh,
they're going to make
I
it
think
so.
they're gonna beep that. I'm not sure though. They're gonna
Okay,
buy us
you can
right
beep
the
it, all
fuck
right.
out, huh?
They're gonna buy us out, bro.
I
They're
tell
gonna
you,
buy us out. They're gonna
that's
tax
what
us
I
out.
told Daniel Wildcat, who is the president of Haskell University, Native American University, our Native American friends. The difference between the Pine Ridge and Rosebud and here is, I don't see no billionaires at the Rosebud trying to buy out the reservation.
Right.
So our problems are not quite the same. Here in Hawaii, we face much greater pressure around genocide and extinction. And not just from the Americans. It seems, gang, everybody in the world loves to rape and participate in the money-making
And this
here
is
in
the
Hawaii.
greatest example of that factor. Everybody rapes.
Everybody, what's
Here.
up with that? When it comes to Hawaii, everybody in the world thinks it's Disneyland, and they're all glad that they all have access to it. Meanwhile, people from the Hawaiian Kingdom have to suffer silently in shame. Well, silently no more, gang. Silently no more.
We have to stand up and look, gang. It's not like we don't know the truth. It's not like we don't even know how to do
truth
this.
is the
we know
truth.
how to do this already.
Alright.
You know, it's just a matter of game's power, bro. Enough of the propaganda crap. This is what we need to do for our children. We need this land. We need this water. We need
So
that.
then HTA, that might mean Hawaiians taking it all back.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hawaiians taking it all back. So maybe what we ought to do is consciously think about reducing the number of tourists down to 5 million.
We
And
certainly
maybe-
don't need to spend that kind of money to invite people here.
No, we don't. We don't need to spend that kind of government slush fund for old retired governors and senators. Back it up, boys. Back it up. We're all suffering here. Everybody needs a break. Enough with the cash cow, okay?
Yep, that's it. Enough with the cash cow.
We're right here at Uncle Hank, and we're questioning everything.
Hey, question yourself, bro. Question. I tell you, you'll be damned what you'll come up with. You'll be surprised what you'll come up with.
Hey, yo.
Question everything.
Hey, yo.
Aloha, mate.
Come be a part of a minority view.
Ao he pau ike, i ka halau ho o kahi,